everybody, it's Georgia Rose, and I am back in the soul space. I've been lonely without you guys. Soul space gets lonely here when no one's around. So I'm glad you're all back. So pile in. I'm going to see who's on in a few minutes. Say hi to everybody. I'd love to hear how your week went. I know my week was a little bit of a roller coaster. Nothing really big to report. However, I feel like this energy is a little bit intense and a lot polarity, if that's a word for energy. It's like back and forth, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I don't know if you guys are feeling that, but I sure am. So let's see if anybody's on yet. I'm giving you guys a little time to get with it here and get on. Going to share my show on my page. Did that. Got a lot to talk about tonight. We have a really big transit going on astrologically this week. We've got Pluto meeting up with the nodes of the moon. And when that happens, it's usually very, very deep, intense transformation that we've been working on for a while. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with that, how that turns out. I'm sure you'll all have stories for me next week. But right now, we've got a bunch of people online. Going to say hello to everybody. If you're there, just give a shout out or a hi so I can see who is actually here. Oops, just lost you guys. Here we are. And comment live if you want. If you want to call into the show, you can do that. And who have I got on here? Let me see. Oh, let's see. I got Christine Fay. Hope you're feeling better. I got Sarah on here. I've got Janine Gemelli. I know Janine was in a warm climate. I saw her social media this week, and she had to come back to cold Northeast where we all are. So I've been doing a lot of meditation. I've been doing a lot of clearing. I've been doing a lot of what they call shadow work. Shadow work is when we work on something that's deep in our subconscious or something that's really deep in our soul, in our recesses of our soul. And I've been working on a lot of those things lately. And when I was in meditation this past week, I got a couple of really very deep revelations. And, you know, I always hear a revelation, usually a word will come into my meditation. And then I take that word and I start to really think on it and contemplate on it and really almost meditate on the word that I've been given. And lo and behold, usually that unravels and unpacks something deep in my psyche. So I'm going to share that story with you today. And if you guys are online and you want to share the show, I would love for you to do that. I'm going to share the show to a couple of pages now while I'm waiting for all of you guys to come in and give you guys a few minutes to do that. We have a little bit of different lighting in the studio tonight, so it might look a little better, I'm hoping. So where am I? Oh, Bobby's telling me to bring my mic a little closer. There I go. Now I sound like some weird porn queen. Okay. So I always have to have that sense of humor. It got me through my whole life. So if you guys all who's on want to share the show, that'd be awesome. And if you want to call in, you can do that. So I want to talk to you guys about my meditation and where all this brought me. So, yes, Janine wants this on. Reading comments. So I'm going to move this closer so I don't have to bend over the mic. So funny. What'll ever happen if I go on network TV? They'll probably throw me off the first show. So anyway, so let's get down to biz. So I'm going to give you guys some soul work to do tonight. And I'm going to tell you what my revelation was. And I don't tell you guys all my revelations, of course, or all my meditations, but I like to share certain things on this show that I think are not just for me. You know, sometimes I'll get a message. As you know, I give messages, you know, from spirit to everyone who comes in to the show and calls in or comes to me for a private reading. But I also have messages that come to me when I'm just in my regular meditation or just kind of hanging out. And sometimes those messages are for everyone and they are for the collective. And those are the ones I want to share with you. So in my meditation the last few days, about last week or so, I kept hearing the word overpower. Overpower. And I'm like, what is overpowered? What I don't know where this is coming from. Like, what am I supposed to be thinking about? And I started to think about and internalize about where I feel overpowered in my life. And what are the things that make me feel overpowered? And I started to really unpack that and apply it to my self-actualization and my self-growth. And what I realized was a lot of times, I think we, and I'm going to say we because I know I'm not the only one. I know there are people out there that do the same thing. It's part of our growth process, right? We're all human. We may have something or someone or a situation in our life that makes us feel overpowered. Not a good feeling. None of us like restraint or restriction. That's definitely happening out in the collective these last couple of years with our COVID restrictions or with some of the restrictions we feel the government is putting on us in different ways. And I feel, the whole sequestering, having to be home, having to wear a mask, a lot of restrictions that maybe make us feel overpowered at times. And so I think human nature is that when we feel overpowered by something, if we don't feel or we're under the illusion, let's say, that we're not strong enough to overcome it, we start developing some compensations, right? So I'll give you an example. So maybe you have a boss who makes you feel overpowered, or maybe you have a spouse who makes you feel overpowered, or maybe even just a friend and they're just pushy and you don't feel comfortable in their presence. So you start to develop coping mechanisms. Maybe you start to not talk about certain subjects because those are the subjects that make you feel the most overpowered by this person. Or perhaps you are at work and you've devised a certain way to either, kind of hide what you do or make it look like you're doing more than you do, just in order to please this boss, even though what you're doing is completely fine and okay and enough. That could transpire in any relationship, really, right? When someone is judging us and someone is making us feel less valued or inadequate in some way, we develop these little compensations to make it look like we are enough. But when we do that, what we're doing is we're allowing that person to overpower us even further, because in that original feeling of being overpowered, we devise this compensation that keeps us in the loop of feeling overpowered. We just don't want to go really into the emotion of it and fix it and change it and stand up to it. So we're developing all these things. And I like to think of those things as our addictions, or the things that we have now allowed to become things we worship in our life almost, because we think about them so much. The boss gives you a project and your work is good, but you also know he's going to pull it apart and find fault with it. So now you're going to, go the extra mile as far as making the report that could be 500 words, maybe 20,000 words, or maybe you have a partner who's very judgmental of your cooking. So now you are perfecting the art of this particular dish. And is that really what you want to do? And in doing all those crazy compensating factors, are we losing ourselves and therefore feeling more overpowered than we have before? And so I really started to think about this, and I came into the conclusion that, just going to look at my notes here because, my mind always wanders when I'm on camera. And so I came to the conclusion that the root is never looked at. And we get in these circles of, well, the real feeling is we're overpowered, but now it's underneath, we're depressed, we're frustrated, we're angry, we're annoyed, we are all these negative things, when really what we are is feeling overpowered. Right? Even think about it and apply that to the COVID restrictions or the masks that we're wearing. We're frustrated, we're annoyed, we don't want to do it anymore, we're just angry about it. But really, it's because we're feeling overpowered. So I started to think about that. And I started to think even more about one of the compensations that we all do a lot, and that's going into media. And I'm not really addicted to social media in the sense of Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any of those things. I'm actually very disciplined with that. I know they're designed and built and wired to go into our brain like a worm and keep pulling us in. I remember when I had my real estate brokerage office back in the early 2000s. And I remember having an IT person come in and blocking Facebook from all the computers, because I found even then my agents were starting to spend an inordinate amount of time on Facebook. And I couldn't understand why they were motivated to put up pictures of their cats, but not look at pictures of houses and sell some stuff. So I used to get really frustrated with it. So I called an IT person in, and he came in and he blocked Facebook. And production went up. And I used to have a joke, if any of you that used to work with me in my brokerage are watching, I used to have a joke all the time, and I would say, I think Facebook is a terrorism designed to make everyone stop working and stop being progressive. And I think it's kind of true now, more so than it was even 10 years ago. So really interesting stuff. So I started to think about how we are addicted to things that overpower us, like social media. My Achilles heel with social media is actually YouTube. I'm a visual person. I love watching and looking at things, especially if they're beautiful things, beautiful scenery. So I find myself maybe going on YouTube to watch a spiritual or an astrology video. And then all of a sudden I've just gone into all these videos because it's on autoplay, and I've fallen into this black hole of visual. And it's just like this beautiful, stimulating place to go where you can basically see anything that you want to see just by typing it in a search bar. And it's very stimulating. And so I get locked in that sometimes, and I've been trying to curb that. So I think that social media is definitely designed to take us away from being productive. And 2022 is a year where we really need to be productive. And I think that's just one of the things, one of the symptoms of places we feel overpowered, that we allow the overpowering to continue and continue and continue. We do it in relationships. We do it with food. We do it with alcohol. We do it with weed. We do it with all kinds of things, whatever floats your boat. And so what happens is, in a nutshell, when we have these things that overpower us, is we start to perform. We start to not live authentically, and instead our life becomes a performance. And I that word came to me really in meditation as well, performance. And so where are you performing in your life? Where is the performance going on that you are not being the authentic self you're meant to be? You know, are you performing for a boss that's too critical? Are you performing for a partner who's too judgmental? Are you performing for an audience that is unseen, that's out there in the ethers, because that makes you feel better about something that overpowers you? So that's what we do. And we're all guilty of it in some way. I mean, some of us are performing for ice cream, right? You're just eating the dinner to get to the dessert. You're performing. You're pretending the dinner is the important thing, and it's really not. You just want the dessert. Or maybe you're performing the way that you post things on social media, and they're really not what's going on in your life, but that's what you're going to post because that makes you feel less overpowered by the things that are maybe not so great in your life. So there's this whole dynamic going on, right? And where is this all leading us? Well, I think that this feeling of being overpowered by things in our life is really where we need to do the soul work. And that the performances that have rendered us a way to compensate for this feeling of being overpowered by whatever it is, whatever situation, thing, person, whatever, craving, these compensations that we've built are not what we need to work on. We don't need to work on the addiction to social media or the addiction to the ice cream. We need to work on the root of why we're allowing something to overpower us. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter the situation. It all goes down to the same feeling of being overpowered. It doesn't matter whether it's the mask, or if you believe in a voter conspiracy, or if you feel like, you know, we have the wrong politicians in office. It's all a feeling of being overpowered, right? It's the same way in our personal lives. And so this really ties into the astrology right now, because we have Pluto, the planet of transformation. And Pluto is the planet of deep transformation. It's not like a diet. Pluto is like deep, life-changing change. Pluto is the guts of it. And this is an energy now that's really in harmony with the nodes of fate. And when that comes, we have all of the energy, all of the support from the universe that we need to start to go to those places where we feel overpowered to find our power. So when you think about things like, why does a YouTube overpower me sometimes? Because I love to watch things that are beautiful. I love to see scenery and design and all those things. So maybe my time would be better off maybe picking up a sketchbook and sketching some of those things, or planning a trip to those places, right? And so it becomes progressive, it becomes productive instead of being overpowered by it. So examine where in your life you feel overpowered and where the root of that came from. Because I think that's the keys that we can unlock in this energy. When the nodes of fate are in harmony with a planet like Pluto, it gives us the depth, the support, and the transformative and regenerative energy that we can utilize to really make those permanent life changes. And then we have the planet of Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune is our imaginations, it's our optimism, our hope, our growth. Jupiter is there as well, which is also optimism and benevolence. So that energy in Pisces is connection. And here's where the real key gets unlocked. The real lock, the key goes in the lock. All of those negative feelings that we feel, the depressions that we feel, the frustrations, the anger, the dissatisfaction from all these things that overpower us, the reason why we get those emotions is because we're disconnected. So the second word that I was given in meditation, in the same meditation when I was given the word overpowered, was homesick. Homesick. And I'm like, why am I getting the word homesick in meditation? And then I realized that when we allow ourselves to be overpowered by things, it's because we're not connecting to our power, our true power, our authentic power, which is the power that's given to us by Creator. And so that's really our home, right? When we feel that beautiful space of connection with God, with God's energy, whatever that is for you, you know, Buddha, Kuan Yin, angels, aliens, Pleiades, whatever it might be. When you connect with that energy, that's when you feel most powerful and you really feel like you've come home. So maybe we're not depressed, and maybe we're not frustrated, and maybe we're not angry. Maybe we're just homesick because we've allowed something to become more powerful than that true connection to our home within. And that's the energy, and that's what's coming to the surface. So in the global scale, you'll see a lot of things coming out. You know, I've been saying this for almost a year and a half, 2 years now. Secrets are revealed. Anything not transparent is coming to light. But what in your life has not been transparent? Where have you been betraying yourself with the illusion that you can allow something to be more powerful than you and overpower you to the point where your connection is lost with what's really the basic connection we all need, the connection with Creator? So that's what came out in the meditation. And I just think it was pretty cool stuff because it opened a door in my life for me to really see where I was allowing myself to be overpowered. You know, something as silly as YouTube, but also there were a lot of personal, very deep things where I found I was becoming overpowered. And it's not a good feeling. And so we just keep in that loop until we do get the depression or the dis-ease. Our physical bodies also break down. And it's really, really great when we renew that connection to Creator, the connection to the connection to the energy of all that is. When we renew that connection to the energy of all that is, then we become really powerful. We feel we're at home, and we don't allow things to overpower us. We get in alignment, and we're not homesick anymore. And so that's what we need to all work on, myself included, in these next few weeks, these next couple of months, because I think that wherever that source is where we're compulsively seeking validation so we don't feel overpowered, we don't feel weak, we don't feel inadequate because we have this validation coming from some fake place that we've created, we need to go back and get our validation through the connection to Source that created us. And then everything falls into place. So it seems like a little cliche, but new stuff to think about. So who have I got online today? Okay, we've got some comments here. Christine Pepe Camarada says she's overwhelmed. Maybe I'm feeling overpowered. Yeah, well, that's what I think it is. And when I was given that in meditation, it just clicked for me. Yeah, you know, I do feel overpowered. And all of a sudden, when I really started to think about it, I could identify exactly where the root was. Like, what is really overpowering me? Is it a person? Is it a situation? And I came up with some really good stuff that was stuff I needed to get rid of. So here's some soul work for you guys. And I'm going to try whenever I get like really philosophical about this, and not every show is going to be this deep. Trust me, I have my shallow side too. Here's some questions that I came up with for you guys if you want to do some soul work, working on this next couple of weeks. And Pluto is really hitting the nodes in sextile and trine probably until around February 17th. So we've got some nice energy to work with this stuff with. So this was some of the questions that I came up with that could help you do your soul work. When you're in meditation or just in quiet, you know, you're walking on the beach, you're walking in the park, whatever, you're on your deck drinking your coffee, ask yourself, what is sitting on my chest? You know how we get that tight feeling like we can't breathe and we're just annoyed and we don't really know why we're annoyed, but we're just cranky and having a bad day? What's sitting on your chest? What is it? Identify what that is when you're in this really quiet connection. What is causing me to put up my wall? Right? That's a really big one. When we're overpowered, we immediately put up a wall. we disengage. We don't want to fight that battle. We think we're going to lose it. So where is it that you put up your wall? Identify not just the thing that causes it, but like when was the last time it happened? Who was responsible? What did you allow? What is making me go silent or making me want to lash out and break free, right? Because that's that freeze or flight. Do I want to just pretend I'm not hearing, be invisible, or do I just want to run and break free from this? What's overpowering me so much that I seek validation compulsively from a source that will never fulfill me? You know, you keep going to the dry well. You're thirsty, you want to drink, the well's dry there, but you keep going back. You keep asking someone to hug you that has no arms, you know. All those things we do. We keep looking for validation from a boss who never acknowledges our worth. Maybe a partner that's that way, or a sibling, or a child, or a parent, or maybe just it's a situation. You know, you keep going and looking for something somewhere and it's really not there for you. It's not going to validate you. And then ask for the energy of love and fulfillment to come into your heart, to inspire you to seek what you deserve for your highest good. And I think that's where Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces come in. It's inspiration. So when we're doing this kind of shadow work and this deep, serious stuff, that energy of inspiration and optimism is going to come in for us. And the universe is going to support that. It's like the universe wants us to do our work now and uncover where we're allowing ourselves to become overpowered in order to become more powerful in the place we're really supposed to be, right? So ask in meditation for the energy of love and fulfillment to come into your heart and inspire you to seek what you deserve for your highest good. Because there's some place when we allow ourselves to be overpowered where we're not inspired. If we were inspired in that place, we'd be strong enough not to allow that overpowerment. So pray for that inspiration. And then outside of meditation, when you're just, have a moment during the day, you're driving to work, you're driving in the car, just ask yourself, what is making you perform, driving you to seek performance, and who or what is your audience? Where do you perform? Maybe, you're competing on a sports field or a game, or maybe you are competing at work. Where is that now becoming a place where you're just driving into that feeling of being overpowered because you're just not winning? You're on a treadmill going nowhere. What makes you keep performing? You keep going back to the well, that cycle of doing the habit, allowing someone to override you, allowing someone to make you feel less than or inadequate or not enough, or feeling overpowered by a system or a structure that you really don't align with anymore and you need to walk away from, close the door. And just ask yourself, repeatedly, it may take a few times, but what is it that's driving your need to seek that performance in order to feel better? All right. Let's see, what else did I have? And that was about it, this is not anything that's a vulnerability that shows a weakness. We all allow this all the time. Human nature is we are all in power dramas all the time. We're wired to be in power drama. We feel threatened, we want to grab our power. We feel threatened, we're going to freeze. We feel threatened, we're going to flight. So that's the human mind and our DNA. It's just how we are wired as a species. So the best thing we can do for ourselves and everyone else on the planet is step into our personal power so that when we're in those situations, we thrive. We are in alignment. We're connected to Creator, and we know we're going to be the best energy that He created us to be. And that's where it really, really comes in. So if anybody wants to call in, I'm going to pull some cards today to see where you are maybe allowing yourself to be overpowered and where you can gain more power in your life. I would love to do some readings on that. And let me see my comments. Here we are. Okay. So I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going back to the beginning. Okay. It's hard to see because I'm on a white background on this. Just reading the comments. Shared first thing. Thank you. Can you pull a card for me? I'm having an issue with my house and overwhelmed. Christine. Yes, I'm going to pull a card for Christine. I got to tell you, I had an issue with my house last week also. Pipe broke and all this craziness. And it was really funny because my fourth house was being very, very heavily transited. And fourth house is house and home. So I'm like, oh, I should have known something, right? So let me pull a card for Christine and the overwhelm. I'm going to pick 2 tarot and a soul card for you, they're saying to me to do. Okay. So I hope you all liked my little opening monologue. You got to do that soul work, when you're in meditation, meditate on where are you overpowered in your life. Okay, Christine, just send me some of your energy so I can connect with you. All right. Got the partnership card. 2 of Cups for you coming in, Christine. Somehow I feel like what's going on in the physical world for you is actually mirroring something to do with a partnership. So this is emotional. I don't know if what happened in your house was water, but I feel like this is an emotion. It's a release of some kind. Very short-lived, though. I see balance coming in here, so don't be too overwhelmed. Balance is coming in. Things are going to change probably in a couple of days for you, actually. Even though a project or something may be ongoing, there's a definite shift of energy in the next couple of days for you. Really, really important for you to shift your energy yourself. What I'd like you to do, really, really important, and this is a lesson for all of us, when you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling any negative emotion, whatever it might be, change your talk, change your words. The universe responds in kind to whatever we put out there. So when we put out there, I'm overwhelmed, the universe is going to be like, oh, she wants more of that because she's saying it. So you've got to say, maybe I'm overwhelmed now, but I have the strength to overcome this. It won't be very long. Or maybe just finding a place of calm and saying, oh, I can feel my breath. My breath feels really good. It's stabilizing me. So counteract the talk, because the more we run around and say, I'm overwhelmed. Oh, this is horrible. I can't believe this is happening. The universe just gives us more of it. So you have to really change that energy line. But definitely feel like whatever's going on in your home, yeah, it's a mirror image. I just got the soul card that's a mirror. It's a mirror image. Whatever the issue is in your house is actually showing you through messaging and through symbolism that this is about a relationship. This is about a release of some kind. I'm getting the words codependency, and I'm getting the word interdependence. So this is about boundaries for you as well. I believe that the way you handle this issue is going to be a very life-changing thing for you. Really meditate on the decisions that you want to make. I pulled this soul card. I don't know if Bobby's in the room. He can get the camera down the table. I pulled this soul card, and this is what really confirmed for me, Christine, that this was a mirror image or symbolism to do with a partnership. This soul card is really like the almost like partnership, soul twins, something like that. But I have to say, I don't believe in twin flames. I know that's a hot topic. I'll have somebody on the show maybe one day. I don't really believe in that. But this is something about a soulmate relationship. And it's whatever's happening in your house. Like, for instance, when we have a leak or water, a lot of times that's a releasing emotion, things like that. So this is definitely indicative of it. So just, what it is. You just have to really clear your mind to see it. And when you clear that energy, everything's going to come out okay. So I hope what I'm saying is making sense, because it doesn't really always make sense to me. It doesn't have to. The message is for you. All right. If anybody wants to call in, the phones are open. Okay, what I got? Okay. Got Monica here. Hey, Monica, how are you doing? I'm going to pick a couple of cards for Christine Fay as well. Here we go. We got the camera on the table. This was with the camera on the table, Bob. I just wanted to show them. This was the soul card. Christine, if you're watching, I know a lot of you listen and don't watch, which is great. I listen to podcasts all the time. I don't have to watch them. This was the soul card. And I don't know if it'll come out on camera because there's a lot of lighting in the studio, but it's really about 2 people hugging, mirror image, looks like twin souls or twin flames, which, as I said, I don't really believe in, but because I believe every soul is unique. You don't have a twin. But it's the outline of 2 figures hugging, and that confirmed for me that whatever's going on in your house is definitely, it's just symbolism about a relationship. All right. And if you want to PM me later and give me more details, I'll see what else I come up with. Okay. This is for Christine Fay. I want to pick a card. And I'm going to actually pick this card for Spirit. Can you just come in now and just like give me some energy for Christine and give us a message for her to empower her in her life? I just got a bunch of light, like felt light around the back of my head, Christine. So I think that you're really close to like a huge breakthrough in your life. Really close to changing a lot of energy in your life. Like this is definitely energy coming in for you that's a lot lighter and brighter than past. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm getting like, yeah. So I got the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands for you. I'm going to put those on the table so you can see them. So first card that came out was 10 of Wands. This is carrying other people's burdens. But I think you're really having some revelations in that regard. And I feel like you are going to really start to set boundaries and eliminate a lot of things from your life that you maybe in the past wouldn't have. So I think this is really very lightening up for you. And then the other card that I got was the 9 of Wands. It's almost like they go together. This card, whenever I get it, is symbolism for me that someone has one last hurdle before they really hit a breakthrough. So take that with you because I feel like you're really, really close to making huge breakthrough in your life. And then the soul card that I got for you, Christine, was this beautiful energy of this person. And I really feel like this is, I know last week, I believe I did the reading for you, and I don't always remember my readings, but I do remember last week reading and saying, to close the front door and kind of take some time for yourself. This card so symbolizes that for me, that you almost need to be in like your own vortex, it looks like. And this person is just sitting in this beautiful like vortex of light. If you can see the card, I'm trying to get it on camera without the lights on it. This beautiful vortex of light. I feel like that's your answer. Your answer is in the silence. And it's coming to you because you're going to start to make some real boundaries and drop some burdens that just aren't yours. Sometimes this reminds, and that's what I'm getting, Christine. So take that definitely with you. One of the things that comes to mind for me, for all of us, is that we take on a lot of things in our life that are not really our karma. Like maybe we're living our mother's karma or our father's karma or someone else's karma, our sons or daughters. We take on people's issues and problems and conditioning that's not ours. And it leads to a lot of problems in our life, So try and definitely make sure that whatever lives we're all living are our own lives. All right. I am going to pick a card for... I'm reading. I'm sorry. When I get quiet, it's because I'm reading. Ann Iva, she's a new watcher. I'm going to give her a card, and she's saying, do I see a romantic relationship with the man I like? Initial B. Let me see. We'll pull some cards for that. All right. Getting a call. So I'll come back to Ann. Hi, you're on the Soul Space. Hello, you're on the Soul Space.
Hi, yes. Georgia Rose?
I am Georgia Rose.
Hello. I am so glad that we are connecting again.
Okay.
I'm hoping within this moment you can read a few cards for me.
And your name?
Especially grateful. Kim.
I'm sorry, your name?
My name is Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Have I met you? No.
We have.
We have? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who Kim is.
Well, we have via phone, not personally, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Yes.
I'm going to pull some cards for you. I'm going to leave this card over here because I know that card is for Ann. Okay, so Kim, I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you. And I don't know why I'm getting this. It's so funny because one of the things I dislike about what I do, I love everything I do usually. One of the things I dislike about what I do is very common when you're a reader or a psychic. People come to you when they're in distress. But for some reason, I'm getting very exuberant energy from you, like something like almost like excitement. like you're really excited about something that is like on the verge of happening that's really great.
It is great.
Okay, because I feel almost like the energy, like shiny sparkles, like you can hardly contain yourself, kind of energy.
Oh, you know what? Let's blow out the candle.
Oh, okay, cool, very cool. All right, good, 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 good. Because that's what I'm getting. So let me see. Okay, so this is about you getting the recognition that you've been waiting for a long time.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely you getting recognition for something that you've been waiting a long time to get it. It's almost like your ship is coming in. And I have this is very prosperous because I'm getting a lot of coins. I just pulled the Nine of Pentacles, which is a very abundant card. But this also has something to do with women and the feminine and the female energy. So I don't know if this is something, I was just, and it's so funny because, wow, I just was talking earlier, say, on the show in meditation, I had gotten the word performance. And I feel like this has something to do with a perform. Are you in the entertainment industry?
I would love to be there, but no, I am not. I am just.
Okay, well, this definitely has some potential.
Yeah, I'm excited where I am right now.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
Because I got to tell you, you have the potential to be somehow, because I'm seeing you with an audience. So you definitely have that potential.
Because right now I am dismayed with my audience. So yes.
Okay, because I'm definitely seeing that. But what I was going to say also is you get the recognition you deserve, but I'm feeling a lot of feminine energy around you. Like this is definitely either a female that's around you that's part of this, or your own energy is coming in very, very strong, like almost like regal, like a queen almost, like on a throne type energy, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like this is something you have your heart set on, very exuberant energy, excitable energy about. I feel like it hasn't completely, I'm almost seeing like a not almost tied, but not tied yet. Like it's not completed. This is going to complete. But the way I see this completing is very quickly, but not just yet. When it does happen, it happens quickly, but it's not ready to happen yet. But when it happens, it takes you by surprise at how swiftly it happens.
Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely a lot of light coming your way. I just feel so much sparkly, shiny energy around this, but it's happening for you. All right.
Great. Energy is always great, right?
Yeah, I definitely feel like this is like, I almost want to jump up and down and get excited with you. That's how exuberant it feels for me.
And I would like you to jump up and down too.
Yeah, because I'm feeling like this is very heart-based. It's a very, excitable, like coming into alignment energy, but it's also prosperous money-wise. And now the soul card that I picked is you kind of like surrounded by light, but I want you to keep your energy very pure. It's very, very important that you keep your energy pure now because any negative thoughts are really going to impact this.
Okay.
So keep your heart light, your mind free, clear. Don't even think about, how sometimes we worry and we may be like, oh, I hope this doesn't happen. Do not even put that out into the universe.
It's almost like, if I don't get 3,000 likes on this thing on Facebook, nobody likes me.
Oh, well, don't think like that because, one of the things that I've had to understand is, especially with social media, it doesn't matter what it shows because there are so many people who watch you and they're behind the scenes. It's a voyeur's dream. So you may have 10,000 people looking at something, but because they don't like it or comment, you think no one is. So trust the universe. Don't get tied down to that three-dimensional BS of like, Sally Field when she got her Oscar. Oh, you like me. You really like me. So like, don't go into that. You know who you are. It's really important for you to stay in your power. The soul card that I pulled is very much telling me that because it's almost like there can be darkness that we create. So do not create darkness on this because this is a really good thing for you. Enjoy it.
Mhm.
All right. Do you have any other question for me?
No, I do have to say that there is a lot of energy around me, but there is also a lot of negativity around me right now, which I don't understand because of the alignment of the planets right now. Normally, I'm more positive than
Yes.
negative.
But I think what happens is sometimes we attract things with our doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So do not doubt yourself is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay? You got it?
Thank you so much.
You're
Yes.
welcome. Good luck to you.
Love you. Be
Love
well.
you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I started to pick a card for Anne before, and this was one of the cards that I got for Anne from the Soul card. I'm actually going to pick a couple of tarot cards for Anne as well. I think Anne was the one, you asked me about romantic relationships. So I'm actually going to pick a Circle of Light card, they're telling me too. These are my own deck that we have on my website, zenkuda.com. If you want, you can go, I keep pulling the same cards and you guys are seeing me shuffle. If you want to go online, these cards, the Circle of Light, they're on zenkuda.com. I think they're $35. This is a deck that I actually created. It's all original. It comes with a little booklet. And it's actually to keep light in your life and connect you with light and the creator. They're beautiful cards. They're 22 cards because that's a master number. And I actually, those of you that have them have told me that you really can feel the energy in this deck. So if you're interested in those, you can go online and order. So Anne, I am getting, as far as, this is a romantic reading, so I want to pick actually two more cards besides this one. I want you to keep hope. But this is what I need to say to you. If Mr. B, as we'll call him, because I know you said he has an initial B, if Mr. B, as we call him, comes into play, that's fine and wonderful. But when I read romantically, I read for the energy. And what we really want in our life, we all, no matter what age we are, whether we're 12 or 80, women do silly things for guys. And so, so inevitably, Mr. B, the one you're crushing on, and you would love to be with him. But when you really stop and think about it, you don't need to be with B. You just want to have that beautiful relationship that's equal and reciprocal, and that you just love, and that you feel that giddy feeling and that beautiful in love, romantic, respected feeling, right? So what I always tell everyone is, don't get so hooked on the B's or the A's or whoever, Mr. Tom, Dick, or Harry. Just try and manifest the love. Because it's like when someone needs a car to go to work and they come in and they say, I want a red Mercedes. And I say, no, you don't. You just want a car so you can get to work. You don't need Tom, Dick, or Harry. You just want the love of your life. So manifest the love of your life. All right? I heard somebody in the green room talking about Dick. No, this is a spiritual show. It's Teresa from Tea Time, and she's actually going to be on the show in a couple of weeks, so you'll have quite a riot then. So, Anne, I am sorry we interrupted your reading. We're very irreverent here sometimes, but we mean well. So as I look at this reading, Anne, I know you just want to know about B, even though I did my little speech. So what I'm getting here is that this could work. They're not showing me whether he's going to be the one or not. But what they are showing me is that you have a journey that you're going to go on, maybe date a little bit, maybe more than one person, and the guy comes in. What I'm seeing here is, I don't know if B is a Capricorn, but if he is, this is the card that's representing him, it's not happening yet. But don't lose faith, because I do feel there's a person coming in for you. I feel like you and he do get together, but it's a little down the road, a little bit of a journey going on here. I feel like you're reaching for something that's not quite within your reach right now, but that doesn't mean it won't be in the future. So keep the faith. Try and manifest in the love. We've got a caller. Hi, you're on the Soul Space. Hey, you're on the Soul Space. This is Georgia Rose.
Oh, my goodness. I called last week, but is it okay I call again this week, or you rather I...
No, that's fine. I just need you to hold on 1 minute because I want to wrap up Anne's reading, and then I'll go to you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So, Anne, what I'm getting here is that right now you're reaching for something that's just out of your reach. So, what I'm going to warn you is do not grasp. The worst thing anyone can do when you desire a relationship is grasp for it. That just leads to a lot of inequality and a lot of unrequited love. So, enjoy your life. If B's the one, he's going to come in because I do feel like there is someone coming in for you and you're going to go on a little bit of a journey with that person. But it's not within your reach right now, but it's coming. It's coming within your reach. Don't overreach. Don't grasp. It's coming. You have one more little hurdle to get through. The guy that I am seeing is a Capricorn. He's an earth sign, very steady, dependable, but also a little detached. And like I said, you go on a journey together. This doesn't come together easily. It's a little back and forth motion. Stand in your power. Don't ever allow yourself to become overpowered by a desire that isn't worthy of you. All right? That's definitely the message that just came in from Spirit. Do not allow yourself to be overpowered by a desire that is not worthy of you. All right? Okay, so I'm going to go to our caller now. I hope that helps, Anne. Okay, so who am I talking to? And welcome to the Soul Space.
Hi, it's Pauline.
Hi, Pauline. How are you doing? How are things working out over
Hi.
there?
Just like curious because I just noticed what your topic was. I thought, no, if I had mentioned it last week, I think I did. So it's funny that you're doing the nodes. And I looked at my node. So are you talking about the nodes with people right now? Is that what you were looking at for people, if they know their nodes, where they are?
Yes. Where do you know where your nodes are?
Yeah, my north node is in the first house in Leo,
Okay.
retrograde. I don't
Okay.
know if that means anything being retrograde. The other
Everyone's
one
nodes are
was-
retrograde.
Yeah,
That's how they are.
You said I didn't know that.
The nodes travel
And then
backwards.
The other, yeah, I forgot what the other one was. I know it's on the opposite side of the. If it's in the first house, that means it's in the seventh house, my south node,
Right.
and I believe it's in Aquarius.
Yeah. If it's Leo, if your north node's in Leo, the south node would be in Aquarius. So Leo and Aquarius, what your life lesson is going to be, the north node in Leo teaches you that the power of love is more important than the love of power.
Okay.
That's
That I
absolutely
already
what your life lesson is in your life. And then the Aquarian South Node is you have brought in something from your past life that is more than likely a humanitarian effort, something where you wanted to serve the collective.
Yes, that's true. But I don't know if this is even possible, but I know that people talk about this crazy stuff about twin flame. The only reason I'm interested is because as a couple, if you truly are twin flames or whatever the hell, or you're probably really balanced within yourself as a sacred union. You don't have to be with another person, but when you are with somebody that's just as balanced, could we not be assisting the collective by being that way? And that's basically what I'm asking. That's what I'm
So
thinking
regarding the nodes
is-
and a romantic relationship?
Yes, if I'm with somebody that's also in that same space with
Right. So what
have
usually
that-
happens if we are in the same, if our nodal axis is the same in our partnerships, usually what that means is one of two things. It can mean that there's a soulmate relationship there because usually the nodes are fated, or it can simply mean that we are meant to meet so that we can promote ourselves into the pursuit of that north node lesson.
Oh, yeah. I just know that person has a Leo. I don't know their nodes. All I know is they have the same rising sign as me.
Oh, okay.
That's all I know about
Right.
the person, but I don't know where their nodes are.
And you're Leo in the first house, Pauline?
Yes, the Leo's in the first house. Yep.
Okay. So North Node Leo in the first house is definitely the lesson of...
Both of us are Sagittarius, and I know his moon is in Taurus, and my moon is
Yeah, I would have to do a synastry chart or comparison chart. But what I was going to... I just want to finish one thought that you originally called in for because we're going to run out of time. And for those of you who have a North Node in Leo in the first house who are listening, Leo is a lion. It's ruled by the sun. Usually a first house Leo is someone who's very attractive. And it's usually someone who, is attractive to other people. They're usually very dynamic, very charismatic if you're a first house Leo. But they can also be extremely egotistical. And one of the lessons of Leo is, like I said, power of love is more important than the love of power. Leos are leaders, but they like to lead with their ego. And the lesson is to lead with the heart. In the first house, it's going to be someone who's very prideful at times. So I would say that with the North Node there, that's really a big lesson for you, is to have a healthy ego, not one that, you have a lot of false pride. But with Leo in the first house there, you're a natural born leader.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, so I didn't get a clock put up, Bob, so I don't know how much time I have here. But okay. So Kayla, welcome to the show. I have another new person here. Kayla, I've got like 3 minutes. I'm going to pick one card for you, Kayla, and tune in next week if you want more. So Kayla, I am going to pick a card for you to see something about your future. Oh, wow. I've got the what we call our Sneaky Pete card in Tarot land. This is a card of a thief in the night. So, Kayla, I'm going to say to you, if you recently excluded someone from your life or recently ended a relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic, it could even be a friend, but if there's someone that you actually just decided that you need to not have around you, that was a good decision, because they actually were like a thief in the night. They did not have your best interest at heart. If there's someone in your life that you're questioning, follow your intuition, because when this card comes up, a lot of times it can mean that someone really is kind of behind the scenes, maybe talking some stuff about us or planning something that's maybe not so nice. So just know, I think you know who this is, and we call this the Sneaky Pete card. It's the Seven of Swords, and it's like a thief in the night, someone who isn't revealing who they really are. So that's our show for tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please share our show. Sarah, how are you? I didn't get to see you on there. Kim, thanks so much. Kim is asking, should she grasp? It's never a good idea to grasp for anything unless it's, something that you really are working towards and it's more of like a finish line kind of thing. So in your case, that may be okay. I'm not really sure. We'll have to think about that. But thank you all for tuning in. You can find me on zenkuda.com if you want a private reading, astrology chart. I also do couple charts if you want a comparison with your partner. And you can find me on Instagram at Zenkuda Official. And you can also like me on Facebook, Georgia Rose Zenkuda, where you'll find a lot of inspirational content. The Zenkuda community belongs to all of you. We're going to start doing some stuff on Zoom so you guys can really interact. And these lives are all about you. So send each other out a bunch of hearts, a bunch of love. Share the show, comment, and I'll see you next Monday at 7 o'clock. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, everybody.